Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. I'm an agnostic noob and I'm sucking on a cough drop right now because I'm trying not to catch a cold. I know the cough drop won't prevent that from happening, but still. That guy's still sleeping. Still fighting the Tomberry King. You go, buddy, you go. Okay. We're going to do a little something here. Should be around here. I think I have to get a particular clue first. So many things in this game require you to talk to a specific person before you can actually do it. It's all about the scripting sometimes. Calculator's still broken. I think that was the clue I was supposed to get, though. If you can't hear it, I'm jamming on the X button right now. There it is. The Weapons Monthly August issue. Gladly accepted. It's a rather mean-looking gunblade. Some gloves. A new crossbow boomerang for Renoa. Now this here, it's going to be a while before we can get this, but this will be Quistis's ultimate weapon. This is the best weapon she can get, so we'll be looking forward to getting a hold of that at some point. Marlboro tentacles are not easy to come by. Marlboros. If there's an enemy in Final Fantasy that is more feared than the Tomberry by a very wide margin, it is the Marlboro. I will talk about that much more when we actually run into one. Right now, I prefer not to think about it. Okay, so now, is there a professional? I mean, there's a professional basketball league in this world. We need to, you know, this was never fleshed out in this game. It's very interesting. Anyway, moving on. We got plot points to move on to here. On standby. Why would they be on their way? They sent the missiles here. They probably think the missiles trashed the place, which, by the way, is completely correct. What's your take on this, Renoa? An answer for what? Okay. How about you, Zell? So right now, at long last, the characters are actually asking some questions that we ourselves would not mind having the answers to. But to what end? Irving, what about you? Well, Priorities, buddy, priorities. Curious about what Renault's trying to talk about here. So if you try to leave the area, that happens. Selfie arrives with a basketball. Don't know how we're going to play on this court, but okay. By the way, you really need to put on a coat or something. Or pants. Anything. We're in the middle of a snowfield. That is part of the plan. That is part of the plan. Fear the revenge of Selfie, people. Fear it. She is scary sometimes. I think we probably passed the point of diplomacy, but then again, you never know. Keeping in mind, Renoa is not a member of Siege. She's not a soldier. This is really the first time she's been in combat. She's holding her own. But at the same time, she's not a trained soldier. That sounds a lot like our government. A lot like our government. Heh. You're the Sea Commander. You must solve the problem of world peace. Somehow. At the ripe old age of 17. Lost in his own world again. I like how he asked this question. You were part of a resistance movement in Timber, right? You were there! What happened is she got a taste of real combat and she doesn't like it. War is scary, people. People get killed, you know? Go up against soldiers with guns and sorceresses with designs of world conquest who can conjure ice spikes out of nowhere and impale people with them. Again, war is scary. That can happen. Remember, this isn't coming from the guy who froze up. Nice shot. We unfortunately don't get a whole lot of fleshing out of the previous Sorcerer's War. But we do get this little tidbit. Sound like anybody we know? Wheels are turning. We're about to get a little bit of a big reveal here, folks. This is a little bossy. So we had Seffi and Quisty and Irvi and Chicken Wuss. At this point, you do have control. Can't really find anything here. I mean, you are kind of a phantasm in a memory. And here's the last orphan. Or, well, the next to last orphan. My Squall's still translucent. By the way, notice that Rinoa is completely out of the equation at this point. Oh, Zell. Adopted. And there's a 6th child there. Anyone care to guess who that might be? It is Cypher. Well, he remembers everybody but Irving. Fitting. And finally, Renoa gets mentioned again. Little bit of introspective realization from Squall there. No, you definitely did not turn out okay. Great fighter, but need some people skills help. So Alone has some relationship with Squall previously. And the rest? Past cannot be changed. We still don't know how she's able to do this, but... Orphanage gang? And why did you forget all these things? That doesn't explain how the other 3 ended up at Garden. Other 4. Now keep in mind, Cypher and Squall were at Garden before Quistis. But she became a seed and an instructor before they did. And she's really not that much older than them. Well, there is that. I think you were trying to do something a little bit different than that. No comment. Still no closer to a Y here. And now we come to it here. Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but Headmaster Sid wasn't telling us everything. Had quite a few secrets hidden from us. You know, the Sorceress was his wife. The dude Norg, I mean, you know, hasn't been exactly upfront with us. Selphie is confessing. And we're suddenly in a room. Ah. Selphie junctioned Guardian Force much earlier. Enter Matron. Adia Kramer. Anybody care to remember another person with the name Adia? Yes. Reveal number 2. Matron of the orphanage that all these kids were in is the sorceress. And the wife of Headmaster Sid. Once again, Renoa's point about, wanting to find a diplomatic way to end everything, completely lost on the wind now. She is no longer even a part of this conversation. How is it that you are not a seed? You were at Garden. You were chosen to take the sniper shot to kill the sorceress. Moving on. And finally, we've come full circle back to Renoa's original point. Almost all. Almost all, Irving. Placing the decision on Renoa's shoulders here. That's not very nice. We all want you to fight with us, Renoa. It's snowing. Once again, a reminder that some of you should be wearing coats. And yet we keep revisiting it. Through Alone's power. Unexplained though it is. We have control at this point. Decision made. I don't know about the fearless part. So I mentioned in my previous video that this was going to be a very time-intensive plot point. So let me try and sum this up for you guys. Everybody except Renoa in the party used to be a part of an orphanage that was run by Edea, who later became the sorceress who's trying to take over the world. Most of them forgot about each other as a result of junctioning Guardian forces. This is potentially a devastating thing that they're facing, except for the fact that it is almost never mentioned again the rest of the game. Huge, major plot point, major consequence to using the Guardian Force, and yet we're not going to stop using them the rest of the game. And in fact, there will be no obvious consequences for doing so. Huge, huge, huge plot hole. I was always bothered by that part of the reveal. It's weird. It's weird. It doesn't make sense from a storyline telling standpoint, and I never got it. I never got it. And again, it's never really mentioned again, and interestingly enough, way weirder plot points are coming. Way weirder, guys. We have not even begun to face the weird and the inexplicably strange and or nonsensical in a lot of ways. I love Final Fantasy VIII. Don't get me wrong. I love Final Fantasy VIII. I've always loved Final Fantasy VIII, but there are problems with the story that I still can't reconcile to this day, 20 years later. So, here we go. We're back in control at long last. Our next destination is Edea's house. We don't know where that is, but we're going there. Which is to say, we're going to go there next time. Thank you for watching. This is Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. I'm an agnostic noob. I apologize for the incredibly long episode, but it was necessary to get through some very significant plot developments. Tune in next time for a little bit of diversion. Some side questing, some monster fighting, some decompressing, and we try to figure out what exactly the deal is with the Guardian Force memory thing, which is never really fully explained or ever mentioned again. Anyway, I'm ranting. I should stop doing that. We're going to save the game here really quick. Slot 3. Save. Done. Tune in next time. We'll make some progress, we'll have some fun, kill some monsters, and maybe advance the plot a little bit more. I am once again Anoxnic Noob. Thank you and good night.